Good evening, and welcome to Eagle Eye News. I'm Zeke Walters.
And I'm Jasmine Lee. We begin tonight with an update on the Toomers Oaks. The Magnolia Street Oak was set on fire Saturday evening during the celebration of Auburn's win. Suspect Joshua Wist has spotted allegedly lighting toilet paper on fire, engulfing the tree in flames. He is originally charged with misdemeanor public intoxication and defamation of a venerable object. After hearing this afternoon, an additional charge of felony first-degree criminal mischief has been added. Eagle Eye reporter Jonathan Thomas has more on the story.
What started out as a night of celebration quickly turned into a blazing tragedy for one of our beloved Toomers Oaks. After a nail-biting win against LSU, thousands of Auburn fans took to the streets to roll the trees at Toomer's Corner. Once the toilet paper rolls settled, one of the oaks was lit on fire as the Auburn community watched in shock.
I wasn't actually too worried at the beginning because I remember they'd been caught on fire before, right after they had gotten poisoned when someone was lighting a cigarette. I thought it was incidental. Probably the same thing happened to someone lighting a victory cigar or something, but I found out later that it was a lot worse than people might have thought.
The Auburn Police Department was able to detain the alleged arsonist, and he was charged with a Class A misdemeanor, and his bond was posted at $1,000.
I think the charges seem pretty low. Having witnessed everything they went through to plant the trees last year, it's a lot of work and effort that went into them for a $1,000 crime that kind of doesn't seem equal.
While the tree is expected to make a full recovery, the Auburn community is now left to wonder why. In Auburn, Jonathan Thomas, Eagle Eye TV.
I'm here with Heron Taylor, the girl who stopped the vandal from fleeing the scene after he lit our oaks on fire. Heron, so it's so nice to have you here. I've been wanting to meet you for a while after seeing this video. Tell me exactly what provoked you to confront this man.
I don't know. I think it was an instinct thing, and he was like trying to get away from me when I was saying, "Hey, you lit the tree on fire! You lit the tree on fire!" And then when he's getting away, I was like, "Nope! Like I'm going after you! Like I'm mad! Like you can't do that!" And so I just went after him.
Yeah, that's awesome that you did. Were you scared at all that you were going to get hurt by this man?
That thought never once crossed my mind.
Really?
My
you
mom,
were very brave.
Well, I was so in the moment, like the adrenaline like was so high. I think that me afterwards, I was like really freaked out, like shaky, like what just happened? Like I cannot believe like any of the situation. But I know I was talking to my mom, and she was like, "I cannot believe you. Like he could have hurt you. He could have, so many things." So
yeah, absolutely. And so what has like the attention around you been after this situation, like with media and everything like that?
It's been a lot. It's been very crazy. I mean, I have so many people thanking me and reaching out to me and stuff, which I mean, it's really cool. It's nice to have all this support, and I'm glad that I could do something to kind of lift the spirits of the Auburn family after this incident. So.
Yeah, well, I want to say thank you. It really means a lot to the Auburn family for sure. So thank you for coming today.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, and thank you for joining us tonight, Heron. Auburn University released a statement today asking fans to refrain from rolling the Oaks during homecoming weekend. The ban will remain in effect pending the Oaks test results. And our trees weren't their only thing on fire this weekend. Back to you at the news desk, Zeke.
After the fire at Toomer's Corner, there was a fire at the Eagle gas station in Opelika. On Sunday afternoon, as Auburn fans planned to leave town, their RV caught fire while they were trying to fill up on gas. Fire officials say there was an issue when the driver tried to crank the RV and a spark caused the blaze. Nobody was injured. The gas station was closed yesterday, but reopened for today.
With so many fires affecting the Auburn community, fire safety has become an important issue on campus. Risk Management and Safety organized a fire extinguisher safety training as part of Fire Safety Month.
On Tuesday morning, John Hanley and Chris Carmelo devoted some time to train Auburn students on safely using fire extinguishers.
Actually, what we're teaching today is a life skill. Once you're trained to use a fire extinguisher, you're not necessarily required to, but hopefully it gives someone a life skill and gives them confidence that if they were ever in a situation where they had a small fire in their house or maybe in an office space or in school somewhere, that they would be confident enough to use a fire extinguisher. A fire can get out of hand really quickly. Fire actually doubles in size every 30 seconds. So time is of the essence, and your life is way more important than you actually being a hero and putting a fire out. So, and that's what the fire department gets paid to do. So.
Safely using a fire extinguisher is as simple as remembering 4 letters.
PASS is acronym for using a fire extinguisher. So P is for pull the pin. So you would pull that pin out. Then you would aim. And what's important is aiming at the base of the fire. The first S is squeeze. So you're going to squeeze the handle to let all the foam come out. And then the final S is sweep. So you'll sweep side to side, which effectively puts a fire out. So it's pass.
How you react to a fire in the first few minutes can make all the difference.
There was a collision involving a Tiger Transit on Cox Road near I-85 on Saturday evening. A 2002 Mazda, driven by a 26-year-old female, hit the Transit head-on. The Tiger Transit was driven by a 56-year-old male with 8 passengers on the bus. 2 people were transported to EAMC. The accident resulted in minor injuries, but no one was killed.
Mike Hubbard's former seat in Alabama's House of Representatives has been filled. House Seat 79 Representative Joe Luverne says he's setting out to better the community one day at a time. On Tuesday, September 13th, Joe Luverne was elected to fill the Republican primary for House District 79 seat. Luverne beat out candidates Sandy Toomer, Brett Smith, and Jay Connor with 2,097 votes. Luverne will serve the remainder of Mike Hubbard's term, who was found guilty on 12 of 23 felony ethic violations.
We have certainly enjoyed the run through the primary portion of the campaign. One thing that's made it very enjoyable for us is we've committed to a positive campaign, and every mailer we sent out, every commercial we put on TV was a positive thing about me and what we'd like to do for Auburn.
Luverne is an Auburn graduate with a degree from the College of Agriculture in 1999. He obtained his MBA from the College of Business in 2000. His work includes being a firefighter, small business owner, and he is currently a battalion chief.
And supporters certainly showed up for me during the primary election, and we're full speed ahead to the general election. And if we get into that November 29th, I'm excited to have the support of the community, and I'm going to continue to be engaged with the community and reach out and try to spread the message and introduce myself. And I look forward to it, and we get things in place and get Auburn back to being represented.
Eagle Eye News, Jasmine Lee.
It's a very interesting situation we're in right now with all 3 sections of the Alabama state government with 3 people in trials or in court hearings right now.
Yeah, it really is. And I know there was supposed to be an election on November 29th with Luverne and Auburn student Gage Fenwick, but Gage didn't qualify, so Luverne has won the election. Coming up, Christy Clayton tells us what Auburn students' tradition will have you wanting to walk down the concourse this week. You're watching Eagle Eye TV on Channel 6.
I hope that you've been able to learn a strong work ethic surrounded by character, integrity, perseverance, so that when your 1 second comes, you'll be prepared for it.
Chris Davis.
45, there goes Davis! Your 1 second, our 1 second is now. And our lives have been guided by the principles of one of the greatest academic institutions in the country, Auburn University.
Hey guys, I'm Christy Clayton and this is Eagle Eye Entertainment. As you walk down the concourse this week, make sure to stop and take a look at the Miss Homecoming campaigns going on. The top 5 ladies competing for the coveted spot are Leah Bastani, Kelsey Gian, Victoria Starks, Maggie Smith, and Katie Hardman. Students will be able to vote for their choice Friday morning starting at 7. In the midst of midterms this week, the College of Sciences and Math is teaming up with Mama Mocha's for AU Science Cafe. COSAM says that the monthly Science Cafe gives students an environment to discuss cutting-edge scientific topics. This month's discussion includes guest scientist David Steen. The event starts at 6:30 and no science background is required. The Lee County Fair is back. Starting tomorrow, the fair kicks off with free admission on Kids Day. The fair continues until the end of the week and will host a multitude of events, including a pageant, cookie judging contest, and live music. The fair's grand opening is tomorrow evening at 5. If you're looking for a relaxing night in instead, UPC is screening Zootopia for dinner and a movie this Thursday evening. The event will take place in the Student Center ballroom with doors opening at 7. The event is free and open to all students. Kick off this weekend with a concert. Josh Hardy will be headlining Sundilla this Friday. The show begins at 7:30 and will be held at the AUUF Church. Admission is $15 at the door or $12 in advance. For more information, visit sundillamusic.com. Last week, Auburn's Panhellenic community crowned their new 2016 Miss Panhellenic.
On Tuesday, September 20th, Auburn Panhellenic Association held their annual Miss Panhellenic pageant. This pageant consisted of an interview, an onstage question, then a game day outfit, followed by a walk on the runway in a formal gown to finish things off. The pageant's winner is a well-rounded individual, and she represents the community of Auburn Panhellenic. This year, Alpha Omicron Pi's Brooke Buckles took home the crown with the title of Miss Panhellenic 2016.
They were all awesome. I mean, it was tough to be a judge because every single one of them offered something, and I didn't even know how it was going to turn out because they were so great. So I would just say to the Miss Panhellenic, awesome, great job, and go and represent Panhellenic well.
In Auburn, Catherine Neal, Eagle Eye TV.
Congrats to Brooke. For more entertainment news, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Eagle Eye TV. Also, tune into The Scoop Wednesdays at noon right here on Eagle Eye TV. Up next is Weagle DJ John Risha with a review of Beyonce's latest album, Lemonade, followed by the latest in Auburn sports. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Channel 6.
Happy Monday, y'all. I'm Risha, and this week's album is a little bit older, but it's still very relevant and popular today. It's Beyonce's Lemonade. This is requested by a couple fans, and I checked it out, and it's amazing. My personal favorite is 6-inch heels because of the massive bass lines. And, I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't love Beyonce?
The 2016 elections are right around the corner, and registering to vote is easier than ever. SGA is dedicated to encouraging students to exercise their right to be politically active and maintaining a positive campus political environment.
We are asking all Auburn students who are over the age of 18 and who are citizens to register to vote. As students about to graduate from college, it is imperative that we take action today to ensure a bright future for our country. And the best way to do that is by voting.
Auburn SGA has launched our Voters Registration Initiative, a project aimed at encouraging students to become politically educated and engaged. Our goal is to register over 1,000 students, and we can't do it without you.
We are partnering with campus organizations in a nonpartisan effort to register as many students as we can by October 24th. Throughout this month-long process, we'll be hosting registration drives where you'll be able to register and we can answer any questions that you may have about the voting process.
To learn more, log on to auburn.edu/SGA to find more information about upcoming registration events, state-by-state guidelines on how to register, absentee ballot information, and more. And on November 8th, exercise your right and vote.
AU votes.
AU votes.
AU votes.
AU votes.
AU votes.
All we did was win. I'm Casey Cooper, and this is Eagle Eye Sports. The sporting world is in mourning after 2 unexpected deaths occurred yesterday. Golfing legend Arnold Palmer was admitted to the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center Presbyterian on Thursday for cardiovascular work and weakened over the past few days. Palmer died on Sunday afternoon in Pittsburgh. He was 87. And Jose Fernandez, the Miami Marlins ace pitcher, died in a boating accident early Sunday morning off South Beach in Miami. The MLB immediately canceled the game on Sunday between the Marlins and Braves once they were informed about the news. The Marlins organization painted a 16 and placed his ball cap on the mound in remembrance of him. Fernandez died as a result of the impact of the collision. The fun-loving, family-oriented, game-changing pitcher was just 24 years old. And in Auburn sports, soccer hit the road and had major accomplishments. On Friday, the Tigers took down the number 12 Gators in Gainesville for the first time in program history, winning 3-0. Two of the goals came from Kristen Dodson. The Tigers then traveled to Georgia and defeated the Bulldogs 4-1. Kristen Dodson again netted 2 goals. Dodson was named the SEC Offensive Player of the Week after having 4 goals, including 2 game winners and 2 assists on the road this weekend. Soccer returns home this Friday for yet another SEC face-off. Volleyball hosted the LSU Tigers in the Auburn Arena this past Friday night.
Auburn Tigers volleyball kicked off SEC play against LSU in a match to see who was the better Tiger at the Auburn Arena on Friday night. The Tigers cruised to the first 2 sets of the match with a 25-22 lead. Outside hitter Brianna McQuarrie led the stats with 20 kills, and libero Jesse Earl with 28 digs. Auburn nearly defeated LSU just 3 sets in, but they responded with the comeback by winning both the 3rd and 4th sets 25-23. Courtney Fierce from LSU led the stats with 8 blocks. Auburn Tiger Alexa Philly provided a total of 50 assists. Tiger fans filled the stands, keeping the game live, as well as cheerleaders. Auburn Tigers went on to win the 5th set 15-9 to take the match 3-2 from the LSU Tigers. With Eagle Eye Sports, this is Taylor Harrison and Donald Akpola.
Volleyball will be hungry for another victory as they travel to Mississippi State next Friday at 7. Auburn football took on the LSU Tigers in Jordan-Hare Stadium this Saturday. Sean White and the Auburn offense struck first after Daniel Carlson made a 51-yard field goal midway through the first quarter. Later, Danny Etling found Foster Moranu for the 3-yard touchdown for LSU to take the lead 7-3. Auburn bounced back with 3 straight Daniel Carlson field goals to lead 12-10 halfway through the 3rd quarter. LSU took the lead after a field goal, but Daniel Carlson stepped up to the occasion again with 2 field goals in the 4th quarter to take the lead 18-13. On LSU's last drive, Danny Etling and the LSU Tigers drove down the field to the Auburn 10. On 4th and 6, the LSU offense hurried to the line to get the play off. LSU snapped the ball and threw it for a touchdown in the back of the end zone for the win. Or so they thought. After review, the offense did not get the play off in time, and Auburn came away with the victory 18-13. The win brings Auburn to 2-2 for the season and drops LSU from the AP Top 25. And in response to the loss, LSU fired head coach Les Miles. Auburn's next game will be at home against the University of Louisiana Monroe for homecoming. Kickoff is at 2:30. If you want more sports updates throughout the week, we've got you covered. Just like us on Facebook at Eagle Eye TV and catch Tiger Tally every Friday morning. Now let's catch up with Jared Diller, who will update us this week on the weather.
Hey guys, I'm Jared Dillard here with your Eagle Eye weather outlook. Let's take a look at the school cast. In the morning this morning, temperature at 71 degrees, humidity at 92. But then around lunch, temperature dropped down to 83, humidity at 54%. And then at night, temperature 61 degrees, humidity 31%. So the hair is not going to be as crazy as it usually is. Looking at our 5-day forecast, on Monday, 92 degrees with a low of 68, still kind of hot, partly cloudy, so you get a little bit of shade in there. Tuesday, it starts to cool off, 86 degrees, partly cloudy, a low of 61. And then check this out, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it's going to be sunny, but 87, 82, and 82, lows in the 50s. This week, the end of the week especially, is going to be really good for all of us. Taking a look at the map of the United States, Salt Lake City is at a nice 75 degrees. Dallas, it's a lot cooler in Dallas than it is in Alabama right now, is at 73 degrees. Auburn is at 92 degrees, and New York is at 73 degrees. Now on to our next map. We have Montgomery over here. It's 93 over in Montgomery. When we look back at Auburn, it is 92 in Auburn and 91 in Columbus. So that's going to be it for your Eagle Eye weather forecast. The end of the week is going to look really good. October is around the corner. It's going to get a lot cooler. We're going to send it to a quick commercial break and then be back with an interview. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Channel 6.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
I'm here today with Lucy Ann Link, the Executive Director of Elections for SGA. Hey, Lucy Ann, thank you for being with us here.
Thanks for having me, Melissa.
Of course. Well, I know we're all excited in Auburn this week because
Absolutely.
it's Miss Homecoming Elections and Homecoming Week. Yes, so tell us a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Executive Director of Elections, it's my job to be over our Elections Council as well as our Elections Board and manning the candidates. So Elections Council is kind of our program that helps me, get everybody organized and get advertisements out there, posters out there, social media, marketing, so that people know that elections are going on this week and what the candidates are doing and what they're running on. Elections Board is kind of our judicial process, so if there are any violations turned in, Elections Board is what handles violations and judicial hearings for the candidates. And then besides that, I'm just kind of a resource for the candidates, helping them understand the code of laws, kind of what they're supposed to be doing throughout the week, the timeline of everything, how everything runs, and just having fun with them and helping them share their platforms and meeting students all week.
Yes, and speaking of platforms, so how exactly do they choose their platforms and promote them throughout the week?
Their platforms are their passions. They choose their platforms, they interview with those platforms, they apply with those, so we know their platforms when they interview, and they get to share a little bit about that, which is an awesome way to see, top candidates for Miss Homecoming, I guess, with their platforms. And then, they kind of share those throughout the week however they see fit, whether it's through activities or, just sharing those with people through talks and organization visits and concourse time and whatever it might be. So that's kind of up to them.
Definitely. Okay, well, students, you can keep a lookout for all the candidates campaigning this week, and thank you for giving us the lowdown on what's going on.
Absolutely. Make sure you vote on Friday.
This week in Auburn history, we go back to 1955 as the War Eagle fight song becomes established. The Auburn University Marching Band had been playing the Auburn Victory March as a fight song for decades, but in 1954, Auburn supporter Roy Sewell thought that the old tune was outdated and something new was in order. After several failed attempts from students and fans, Sewell hired two New York songwriters to write the words and music for a new fight song, which was when War Eagle was born and premiered at the Auburn football season opener on September 24th, 1955 against Chattanooga, where the Tigers won 15-6.
So CBS Sports tweeted us, which I thought was pretty awesome, and they said, War Eagle is more than a fight song for football AU fans. And, it really is. It's part of who we are. It's part of our tradition.
Absolutely. Growing up in my family, it was definitely it was almost embarrassing not to know the fight song. And I think my baby Mobile played the fight song when I was growing up. So it's just been brainwashed into me. And Taylor Ezel actually tweeted out, there's something amazing when your son wants to sing him to sleep with the War Eagle fight song. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool how it's been embedded in you and other people as well since a very, very young age.
Definitely.
If you would like to join the conversation, please use the hashtag EagleEyeTV on Instagram and Twitter. Up next, we will have more on what's taking place on Auburn's campus and across the community. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Channel 6.
This is a place where it only takes a second to imagine your future. Grasp a new concept in class. Inspire a child's curiosity. Discover a real-world solution. Seize an unexpected opportunity.
There goes Davis!
This is where you gain the preparation, confidence, and determination to succeed. This is Auburn.
The Castilian apartments near Cambridge Hall were recently acquired by Auburn University. The apartments will be demolished tomorrow, therefore everyone should find alternate routes around Gay Street, as the right turning lane and pedestrian walkway on Gay and Thatch will be closed until demolition is over. Martha Gentry with Auburn University's Department of Facilities Management tells Eagle Eye that the university has immediate plans to lay sod on the site, while future plans are yet to be determined.
While Halloween is still a month away, people are already dressing up as clowns. These clowns aren't looking to trick-or-treat, however, and they are becoming a threat to the community.
Recently, the state of Alabama has had many incidents involving people dressing up as clowns and terrorizing the public around. Posts on Facebook have been using threats to schools around our area, frightening many of the residents and their children. While news is unclear, sources have said clowns are starting to roam around Auburn's campus during night hours, leaving students anxious and fearful.
I think it's messed up. These people are dressing up as clowns because at first they were messing with little kids and high schoolers and middle schoolers, and now they're giving death threats and bomb threats to different schools and places around the world and Southeast mostly.
The Department of Public Safety on Auburn's campus has sent out emails regarding the clown situation. If you or anybody else sees a clown, please do not hunt for it. Call 911 or come to the police substation by the Student Center and let the Auburn Police Department handle their situation.
Honestly, we just want to advise all students to walk with a buddy, use the blue light safety system because, I mean, you do pay for it, as well as don't go out hunting for clowns because that's not cool, and it's not safe, so be safe.
In Auburn, Ben Bracken, Eagle Eye TV.
All students need to be aware of this situation and always report it to the local authorities.
Auburn's favorite sandwich shop, Momma Goldbergs, recently celebrated a big milestone. Grace Reynolds has more on the story.
Momma Goldbergs has been a staple in the Auburn community since 1976. The famed restaurant celebrated its 40th birthday last week.
You know, it's been a great tradition in Auburn and really one of the only remaining restaurant icons in Auburn. So we're very proud of that.
Auburn Mayor Bill Ham and Opelika Mayor Gary Fuller were on hand to proclaim September 22nd as Momma Goldbergs Day.
This is kind of a milestone, the 40th birthday, but we really have plans to really grow the brand and spread it across the Southeast, spread Mama's love.
The restaurant also celebrated its new partner charity, Reach Out and Read, which partners with local pediatric offices to provide books for infants.
They're really focusing on the Southeast with us, and our funds, the funds that we raise on their behalf, will be used locally in the local markets that we're in across Alabama, Florida, and Georgia, and South Carolina.
The celebration wasn't shy of birthday cake, champagne, live music, and even a book signing of the new book, Mama's Love, a book celebrating the story of the restaurant.
Many stories of people getting engaged in the booth, having Momma Goldbergs cater their weddings. So just a lot of great family history stories that surround Momma Goldbergs. We think it's a special day, and we're happy to share it with the community.
I don't know that there's any better food on campus than Mama G's.
There's not, and I'm not surprised they've been in business for so long because the food is excellent.
And that's all for Eagle Eye News tonight. Tune in after the show for a live look in of the SGA Senate meeting. There's also a watch party for the first presidential debate taking place in the Foy Auditorium right after this broadcast. If you would like to keep up with the latest Auburn news throughout the week, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Eagle Eye TV. I'm Zeke Walters.
And I'm Jasmine Lee. Thanks for joining us, and War Eagle.